people are heading out the exits, it's because they're on the Wentz wagon. They're already booking their trip to Houston for Super Bowl 51. An amazing turn of events here at Nick's Roast Beef. Things are calming down. I'm Adrian, Fedkiw for PhillyInfluencer.com. It's a wrap.
Will the Eagles be in the Super Bowl in the next 5 years?
Don't do this.
Ooh.
Don't do
See,
this.
if you would have said 3, I would have said no. 5 years is interesting because it's going to be down to Howie Roseman building around Carson Wentz. And you look at this Atlanta Falcons team, what did they do the last couple of years? They built through the draft.
Stunk.
They built a defense through the draft. And that is what the Eagles need to do. That is what Howie Roseman needs to do to get to a Super Bowl. And yesterday, not much of that. They only ran the ball 18 times. Wendell Smallwood had 9 carries. That's it. And when they did run the ball in the limited opportunities that they had, they were running the ball pretty well, 4.5 yards per carry, and they got away from it. 36 passes, 18 runs. Terrible ratio. In order for an epic comeback like this to happen, not only do the Patriots have to be perfect and play on point, be efficient offensively, you also have to get some luck from the other side. It ends a lot. 2 to 3 tight end personnel packages. He strayed away from that last night. Zach Ertz, Trey Burton, Brent Selleck, this is the strength of your football team offensively. Got away from it.
Okay, so one last question.
James White had 14 catches for 110 yards last night. This guy was a backup running back at Wisconsin. You talk about Malcolm Mitchell, 6 receptions for 70 yards.
Yeah.
These guys are nobodies. And doing this on the big stage in the biggest game of it all. I don't even know where to start with this game. Defense, Doug Peterson's play calling, Carson Wentz. I'll go at Wentz. Okay, so first of all, you're throwing the ball 60 times, which is just absolutely incredulous. But something that I'm concerned about, this is the most important time of Carson Wentz's development, and we're seeing regression. He's not setting his feet in the pocket. He's overthrowing the seam route. He's perceiving pressure in the pocket that isn't there, so he's scrambling out of it when he doesn't have to. And that makes me point at the coaching staff. You got a former quarterback in Doug Peterson as your head coach. You got a former quarterback in your offensive coordinator in Frank Reich. You got a quarterback's coach in John DeFilippo, and we're seeing regression. There's been no progression in his mechanics whatsoever. So that's something I'm really, really concerned about heading into this offseason. Is this coaching staff going to be able to fix the kinks for the young lad? I mean, can they? What do you think?
I don't know.
I thought he responded from that Cincinnati loss. What did you take away from Carson Wentz?
I thought it was his best game of his career. In terms of the ball placement, the pocket presence, did you notice how many times he was eluding the pressure? You know, spinning out of it, getting out of the pocket, stuff like that. No overthrows. Didn't see a lot of that either. That has been a big problem over recent weeks. Bad red zone interception. That was really bad. But in terms of putting the ball on the numbers, putting the ball on the proper shoulder, I thought it was his best game so far. Besides maybe the Steelers game, you could argue that, but I thought this was his best game. But this is something we talked about earlier with getting the tight ends and running backs involved a lot more. Darren Sproles, a lot of option routes on the 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, stuff like do love that a lot. And if you look at that Falcons game, 8 of the receptions went to the wide receivers, 17 of them went to tight ends and running backs. So when you're going to your tight ends and running backs, it's masking the deficiencies at wide receiver. So, you know, we talk about Paul Turner, we talk about Bryce Treggs. Well, maybe you just need to get Zach Ertz involved a little bit more, you know? Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Matty Ice met his defrosters. Benny Logan, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. I mean, they were all bringing the heat all game long. But so ever since Halapoulivaati Vaitai, sorry, right time, I just wanted to show off there. Yeah, I can do it 3 times fast.
That was impressive. Right?
Yeah. Halapoulivaati Vaitai, Halapoulivaati Vaitai, Halapoulivaati Vaitai. Wow. Yeah.
Sign him up.
Do it. But to see him so calm and poised in that Washington game, followed up again against Baltimore, really good on that last final drive, struggled throughout the entire afternoon, but he comes up clutch when it matters. And we had been waiting for that all season long. 208 rushing yards, right?
Nice.
They control the time of possession, 38-10 to 21-50. So in a lot of ways, their best defense was their offense, keeping that potent Atlanta Falcons attack off the field.
Give it to me straight. Adrian Fedkiw, number 1 concern for the Eagles 2017 season is.
Yeah, cornerback spot for me, especially coming back from last year trying to replace Leotis McKelvin and Nolan Carroll. So you got Jalen Mills.
That's a lot to replace.
Well, Well, we'll see if we can improve. So Patrick Robinson is, I think, a key guy for the Eagles this season. We'll see what he can do. Had a tremendous season 2 years ago for San Diego, so you kind of hope that he can play to that level again. Last year kind of had an injury-riddled season with the Colts, so now he's here in Philly. The reason why the cornerback spot is so important, I mean, last year it all went downhill once the Redskins game happened, and quarterbacks figured out quick three-step drop, get the ball out, and that just killed us. So everybody wants to talk about top 5 defensive line. You can talk about that all you want, but if the quarterbacks are going quick three-step drop, getting the ball out so quick, the pressure's not getting there.
Yeah.
So the cornerback play has to be able to be good enough that the pressure can get to the quarterback. So that's the whole key, I think, for basically the entire season on the defensive side of the ball.
And it makes a difference. You get after quarterback.
The first thing we're going to get into is what Derek Barnett does best. Bending the edge. Bend it like Barnett. He times his snap count perfectly, and the way he can turn that corner, bend the edge against that left tackle, absolutely extraordinary. Let's take a look at some clips. So these first 2 clips right here. First of all, this is Cam Robinson, first-team All-American. No big deal at Alabama. Oh, my God. And this second clip here. Barnett gets to the quarterback quicker than a Chip Kelly 3-and-out. So you look at the skill set here, his ability to bend the edge. Great bend and burst off the snap, shoulder dip to get under the hands of a blocker. That's insane. And once he gets past that tackle, he turns on the jets to get to the quarterback. And a couple more examples here where he forces the quarterback to step up into the pocket, forces him to make a decisive decision, not worry about mechanics necessarily because he's thinking of something else. He's thinking of the rusher. He's thinking of Barnett. That leads to an interception here along the left sideline. Here's another example. Trevor Knight has to step up into the pocket, gains only 2 yards. And another one here. So Barnett collapses the pocket, forces the quarterback out on the boundary. Quarterback steps up, incomplete pass. That's all Derek Barnett. Markel Fultz tonight, 23 points, 9 of 16 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3 to go with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. In his first outing against the Celtics, I thought he was good. I thought there was room for improvement, but I thought we saw a lot more tonight. The jump shot went down a little bit more consistently, and I also like to see that he was going up against an NBA player in Dante Exum. Sidney Jones was the number 2 cornerback on a lot of people's draft boards prior to a freak Achilles injury at his pro day, which saw his stock plummet a little bit. Instead of being taken in the first round, he got taken in the second. He was the 7th cornerback taken overall, and even his teammate Kevin King got taken before him. But I'll tell you what, he was the number 2 cornerback on the board for a reason. The tape speaks for itself. The tape is very, very, very impressive. We're about to look at it right now. Bolden brings so much versatility to the defensive side of the floor. He's more than just a shot blocker. He's more than just a rim protector. Look at him slide his feet there along the perimeter. It's so effortless. It's unbelievable. Here he goes. He's on a switch. He pokes the ball away from Tatum and goes coast to coast for the layup. He made that look easy. He made that look smooth. He's 6'10". That's unreal. Here we go. On the offensive end, offensive rebound. Later on the possession, hits the three-pointer. He was 3 of 6 from downtown tonight. That improves his overall three-point percentage to 36% during the Summer League. 9 of 25 from downtown. So that's pretty good for a big man. The one complaint from him, sometimes he takes contested shots. I want to see him take more open looks. But that's something I also think he's gotten better with as the Summer League has gone on. As you can see with these shots, he's pretty much wide open.